Well, good morning. I have been working some crazy hours at work and finally got an off day in the middle of the week, so we're gonna go camping at the lake. I haven't started this boat engine, in like 2 years. So before we leave, I'm gonna start it in the driveway to make sure it runs so we don't get all the way to the lake and it doesn't even start. So there's some dirt dauber nests in here messing with blocking part of this stuff up. So I'm gonna clean all the mud out and prime the fuel filter. I think it's empty in here, and then we'll try it again. Problem that every single boat owner deals with in the spring. If you live somewhere where there are dirt daubers, they will always block your exhaust port right here for the water. All right, I fixed the fuel filter and then primed it with the new gas, and we'll see if it'll start now. Well, I'm gonna do a little bit of fishing while I'm out there. So I'm gonna catch a couple of these leftover brim that survived the pond blowing out to use as bait. They're hanging out in that little water hole, all that's left of what used to be this pond. Well, we got a couple. I think that's enough to get started. I'm imagining there'll probably be some I can catch at the lake too, but I wanted to be sure. And the fish in this hole are gonna die anyway. The birds are eating them. So might as well get some use out of it. Okay. We've got the boat, we've got the fish bait, the fish rods, we've got the camping stuff. I think we have everything we need. And we've got the dog. Think we're ready to go? We're at the boat ramp. I got the boat all loaded up and we're gonna put it in the water. It's kind of windy, but it shouldn't be that big a deal. This boat's super light. Hopefully the chop is not too big. If the chop's really big, then will be a very wet ride, but fingers crossed. We can get across the main lake and get over to the other side where it's not quite as windy. you think? We're off. That was not the hardest ramp that I've put in. It's a little steep. The ramp is really old, and the wind is kind of straight at the ramp, so the back of my boat is not very tall, so I was getting like splashes in the boat, which is fine, but putting the boat back on the trailer tomorrow, if it's this windy, that might be an issue. But we're in, so let's get to the spot. All right, we got everything situated. Whenever I start going a little bit faster, I don't want anything to blow out. So out in the middle, the wind's not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was whenever we put in. So we're gonna go look around. There's a couple islands out here that I wanted to check out and find the best one that's out of the wind and also has a good campsite. So that's the plan. Right now we're gonna go explore, find a couple of cool islands, and find a good spot to set up camp. You gonna jump in? You gonna jump in the water? Say no way. No way. I stopped in the middle of the lake. I have to move all of my stuff over to the left side of the boat. This boat pulls really hard to the right. And I remembered it pulled one way or the other. I just forgot which direction. So I'm gonna move all the weight over to the left side to kind of counteract that. I'm not sure why. I think maybe the motor was actually mounted a little off center. And because I've been fighting that as long as I've had this boat, it always wants to list and pull a little bit more to the right than the left. It's all right, it just works your arm out with the tiller steer, but we'll move the stuff over and then we'll keep going. All right, we got all the stuff moved over to the other side of the boat. Try to keep Hickory up in the front half of the boat, and we'll go check out those other islands. Right where we came from, they must be doing a big controlled burn like right there. You can see this smoke is like hanging all over the lake today. The water's a little higher than I thought it was going to be. So these beach spots are underwater, but there's still some spots on the main islands that you could climb up onto and camp at. There's a bald eagle right there. It's like late March and all the fish are spawning, the birds are out. So I brought a cast net. If I can catch the shad run and catch a bunch of shad, that'd be perfect for bait for fishing this summer. And the birds will lead me to them, hopefully. This island could definitely work. I could camp on that beach right there. It's pretty shallow. Looks like there's some flat spots up on the top. So I'm gonna keep that one in mind. I am gonna go check out this one straight in front of us. That one looks a little better. So we'll see what that one looks like. This is a shell cracker. So I drove by a couple of these floating on top. I don't know why. I do know that they're spawning right now, but this guy looks fine. I don't know. With there being so many around here, I might try to fish for a couple after we go drop our stuff off at that island. Yeah, he's not doing so great. He floated back up to the top again. I don't know what's going on with that one. All right, we're at the first island. We're gonna walk around a little bit. There's definitely some flat spots kind of here right by the edge. I also want to find a spot that can kind of be out of the wind, the downwind side of the island, so the boat's not being pushed into the rocks the whole night, and find a spot where I can put out some rods to soak overnight. We spooked a couple geese off the island, and now they're mad at us out there. This side is just a mess. Definitely nowhere to camp over here. When the hurricane blew through last fall, it pushed over a ton of trees on the edge of the lake all over the place. So this island is the same. The side facing south is like every tree is pushed over. So there's no flat spots that aren't covered in logs and branches. So the north sides of the island look a little better, which might be where we have to camp. This spot doesn't look too bad. Keep jumping geese though. Well, this whole flat spot is like perfect. It's out of the wind, it's flat, but there's nowhere to put the boat close. I'd have to park the boat out of sight further up the island. I don't really want to do that since we're gonna leave it all night. So maybe there's a clearing in these little trees, but otherwise this spot is perfect. There's so many flat spots right here for campsites. This spot might work. There's a little opening right here. Well, we found a couple potentials on this island, but we're gonna go check out a couple more before we make a decision. And yeah, we'll see what the other ones look like. Probably wondering, where is my better half? So since I have this crazy work schedule, I work every Sunday, and Beck still has her regular schedule. So we only have Saturday off together, so we can't go camping, at least for the next couple weeks. So I'm off Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I took off, or I'm headed out here today, Thursday, and we'll camp tonight and then go back home Friday before she gets off. And then we'll still be able to spend our one day off together. So not ideal, but I couldn't let up another beautiful day go by without enjoying it. I'm tired of watching all these nice days from inside my work. So we're gonna take advantage of this nice day. And I'm out here camping with my bud. It'll still be fun though. Come on. About to get left, boy. Back in the boat. We're gonna go check out that other island. All those angry geese. We bumped them all off their sleep spots. Sawi. This is the biggest island, but almost all of the trees are gone. I'm not even gonna land on that one unless the other side looks a little better, because I can see from here that's just a jungle gym of dead trees. Unfortunately, that island looked pretty covered in dead trees, so we're gonna check out. There's one more smaller one towards the boat ramp that we drove past earlier, and if that one looks good, we'll stay there. If not, we might go back to the one where the geese were, the Goose Island. This one's definitely a lot rockier than the other islands that we looked at, and the banks are a lot taller, so I kind of like that in the sense that it looks like it might be better to fish off the bank here if it's deep, close to the edge of the island. And it looks like there might be a kind of a clearing in the middle we'll have to beach here and go explore it. Go ahead, buddy. Jump in. Let's go check out this island here. Already this little sheltered like chunk of rocks makes it super calm right here, which is perfect for the boat to keep it from, well, hopefully keep it from drifting away. I anchored it. I'm sure it'll be fine. It won't float away. So this is a campsite, like an old campsite. This tree fell right in the middle. There's the fire ring. We might camp right here. What do you think, Hick? All right, got all the stuff brought up here. I'm gonna set up, kind of clear out an area. I'm not gonna set the tent up yet, but I am gonna cut some of these branches off this dead pine tree, get a little bit of firewood for tonight, and then relax. It's been nice not having to carry everything. You can bring a chair, a bunch of extra luxury stuff, and not have to worry about the weight. So lucky for me, there's a bunch of dead wood on the island, so I'm just gonna get some of it cut up into little pieces so we'll have some firewood for tonight. Well, I've got a little bit of firewood cut up, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the rods and get those casted out on the deep side of the island and find somewhere to kind of anchor the rod on a tree so I can let them soak while I cut a little more firewood and hang up the hammock. So I've got 2 Carolina rigs, and I'm gonna put pieces of those brim I caught at home on these 2 bigger rods and throw them off the east side of this island. We're kind of right on the channel, so if I can cast it out really, really far, it should drop to like 40 or 50 feet of water, which would be perfect. All right, we got the rods casted out. I have one on the boat and then one on the west side of the island. It's super thick right there, so there's only a spot for one, and even that spot I had to like climb over some trees, so I put the other one on the boat in the rod holder. We'll see what happens. We'll let him soak. I've got the head on one rod and then just a chunk of the body on the other rod, and we'll see if one spot catches more fish, then I'll move both rods over to the good spot. But I'm gonna fish around with this little rod around the edge of the island a little bit and just kind of take it easy, just enjoy this beautiful day. Well, did not catch any fish, but I think I'm gonna set the hammock up and just take a little nap. Just like Hick is doing right now. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start making a little fire so I can get a good coal bed to make dinner on. Well, it's getting about dinner time, but Beck texted me that she's actually going to come out here just for the night and then leave before it gets too dark. So I'm going to wait to cook until I go pick her up. So that'll be good. I've been missing her out here by myself with just the pup. So it'd be nice to see her and watch the sunset together. Alrighty, Beck just gave me a call, so we're going to get the boat back started and we're going to head over to the boat room and pick her up. Hick, you ready to go see Beck? Yeah? Let's go pick her up. Got her. What you got for dinner?
I got a sub from Fernandez.
Nice.
Fernandez? I don't know.
So I've got a little bit of dryer lint here. It's not food, but I already fed you. What do you mean? And I'm just gonna use that to catch the spark. And then most of these leaves and pine straw are pretty dry. So once I get the spark, it should go pretty fast. So I guess like today or this morning.
Looking cold.
Yeah.
Because there's like still recovering from.
All right, we got to get you back.
I know, I gotta work tomorrow.
Womp womp.
I wish I could stay.
Well, I got Beck dropped off behind me and my lights stopped working on the boat. So all my stuff is back at the island. So I'm gonna head back to the island and get the stuff and then just stay until it gets light. I'm not gonna ride the boat around at night. I was gonna try to fish tonight, but I'm not gonna fish without lights. So I gotta get to this island, get the rest of my stuff, and then we're gonna spend the rest of the night there. All right, we made it back. Definitely drove a lot slower. Did not enjoy doing that, but we're back at the island and I'll stay here until it gets bright tomorrow. And then whenever we get home, we'll have to fix those lights. Well, it was super cool to hang out with Beck for a little bit and catch the sunset together, but I am super hungry, and so I have to make dinner over this fire before I can pitch the tent and go to bed. look at that. This is steelhead. So it's kind of pink, kind of like a salmon, but it's a little bit different. It looks pretty good, though. Came out pretty nice. That fish is good. It's like buttery. That's really good. Well, that was pretty good. Hick had the skins, so we both got a little bit of stuff out of that. But it is getting very late. I'm gonna pitch my tent, I think, pretty close to the fire right here, and go to bed. So I finally bought the Big Agnes Rapide, the same pad Rebecca has. I kept getting holes in the thermarest, and I kept patching them, but new holes would pop up, so we're gonna break this one in. We have a big trip coming up in a couple weeks, and I want to have a good pad for that trip. But I'm not gonna tell what that trip is. We're gonna talk about that in the next video. Well, this tent is tight. I got the tent pitched. It is definitely not a very good pitch, but it'll make it through the night. There's no wind, so I only have 2 stakes on the end. I don't have the stakes by the head. I don't think you need them. We'll see. I'm not going to use them tonight, and maybe we'll need them in the wind or rain or something, but I am going to go to bed. It's like 11 o'clock, super late. So I'll see y'all in the morning. Good morning. I slept really good on this new mat. Got a little stuffy with all the pollen, but yeah, I slept better on this new mat than I've slept on that thermarest, I think, ever. Temperature's great. I had my 20-degree bag, like a blanket, because it's not quite cold enough to be in the bag, but it was nice. Hick was keeping me safe. He's like right outside the tent, rustling around. But it's time to get up, break this tent down, and make some breakfast. Oh. Well, while we're letting that burn down for some coals, I'm gonna go check the rods, see if there's something on them. Not a great spot, but there isn't any really good spots out here. And stuck. I put the other rod in that rod holder, and it's definitely moved. So there's definitely either a fish on it now, or there was last night. So I'm gonna have to wait out there and check it. kind of fighting like a turtle. Well, on a branch, but at least I got my stuff back. I guess that fish got it tangled up and then got off, but at least I kept the rig, so I'm gonna throw another bait out while I break down camp and we'll see what happens. We're gonna try this thing that Beck brought yesterday. All right, not bad. Some French toast and eggs. I think that turned out pretty good. And then we are ready to go. Might be a little fishy since I didn't clean the pan, but no, I don't taste the fish at all. That's good. Well, breakfast was super good, but it's time to head to the house, so I'm gonna start loading the boat up, and then we'll head back to the dock. All right, we got the boat loaded up. I'm just gonna walk around the island a little bit and pick up a little bit of trash. I've seen a lot of trash out here from other people. So I brought a couple extra bags. We'll load those up and then we'll hit the water. All right, let's head back to the dock. Hick, you ready? Yeah, I'm not gonna leave without you. Oh. Up, come on. We're gonna leave. Oh, we're drifting away. Oh no, hurry, come on. There we go. I think we might drive around a little bit and explore a little more. It's only like 10 o'clock, so we have time before we need to be back at the house. We'll drive around and look out a couple other islands that are a little further away. Maybe go check out the bridge. Whatever Hick wants to do. Bogging down a lot. I think I'm gonna turn around before I get stuck out here. I'm sure it's a fuel delivery problem. The hoses and the ball are like super old and the plastic's hard, so. Came in a little too hot there. Yeah, the plastic's old. I need to replace the fuel lines and probably the pickup line in the tank. So I'll take a look at that probably tomorrow. It should be a pretty easy fix. I mean, it ran great. It's just a little boggy, so I'll check out the carburetor and check out the fuel delivery line, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Oh, all right. We are out. Got it pulled out. I got a little squirrely at the ramp there for a minute. I wasn't able to film anything. Had to back the boat out a bunch of times trying to get it lined up right. It was a little bit of like a crosswind, but turned out good. We had a great time. We'll end the video right here. I appreciate y'all watching. Next video will have Rebecca in it, I promise. And we do have a huge trip coming up. We're actually leaving next weekend. So our next video, we'll talk about that trip and it'll be super exciting. But until then, thanks for watching and we'll catch y'all next time. Nick, you say bye?